If you guys want to have a full smokehouse like this is the process of subsistence life in Alaska. This is what I grew up on. This is what we're going to do. Here we're going to go get the fish. So this is what we called dip netting. You dip net down on the kenai and you just go ahead and get the fish. And then you just go ahead and start processing the fish. Here it is. You start by filleting the fish. Right here's the fillet of the fish. Look at how beautiful and orange that color is. And you could use whatever knife you want. Here I am using an ulu. That's what I grew up cutting the fish on. And that was the slab. And then after you're done making the slabs and everything is when you start stripping the fish. And then you brine the fish. And then you put it in the smokehouse like the first part of the video. That's what the fish will turn out in the end. Here you just keep on doing what you're doing. You go ahead and make sure your ulus are sharp and you keep filleting the fish. Here we're turning them into strips. So after the filleting, you go ahead and do the strips like this right here. And then you put them in water so it could rinse off the slime. Just like that. So you could use a bucket, you could use a tote, you could use whatever you want, a bin. And then you just put it in the brine. The brine has brown sugar and rock salt. And you just brine it however long you want it to brine for. And then once it's all done brining, it's going to go ahead and hang and dry so it could get that tackiness. But this was like the fish cannery we had this summer. Here it is. You see that meat right there? That would be used for it would be used for either jarred fish or it would be used for fish jerky. But right here's all the fillets we did. It was a lot of fish to put away for it's called Subsistence. But here you just do the same process. You fillet, then you thin it out. You don't want your strips to be real thick, or else it can get sour if you're not watching your smokehouse really well. But my whole family, we prefer thin strips, so that's why it's like that. But here is like some of the fish that was hung to air dry after the brine. Once they get like a tacky feeling and they're not wet, then you could move them inside the smokehouse. And then this is like the end process, and you smoke them. Here's a few examples of what you can do with the fish. You can make it into jarred fish, so we call this 2-day. I just smoked 2 days, pressure cooked with some jalapenos. Then the next one is just the backbone meat that is like a no bones.